Hello everybody, this is DearMamaSal and it's Friday evening. Tonight we're going to do smile time as usual. We like Friday evenings. So to start with, I just wanted to welcome anybody who might be new or watching this on the replay. Let me just tell you who we are and what we do. We are a group of people that get together 3 times in a week to sort of share like an extended family. And so you're more than welcome. The more the merrier. We love it. I got sticky notes everywhere here. I'll stick it on the other side. And so what we really do is, if you'd like to join in, do. If you just want to sit and watch, fine with us. We've got people who watch for months before they ever joined in. All right, so here we go. Jody, thank you for being here. And let me start with giving you the smile for the day, because I know you want to catch up on the gardening. And so for those of you who don't know, I've been learning a new skill, which is how to indoor garden. Now, Jody, you asked to see this, right? So this is the egg carton, and you will see the chard is growing. Can you see the chard? And hi there, Sandy. And you're probably wondering what happened to, what did we have here? No, what happened to the radishes, right? So what I wanted to show you was, this is what happened. All right, isn't that beautiful? They came up so well that I needed to transplant them. So definitely, yeah, wow is what I said. Actually, I think I added one more. I think I had 4 letters in the word that I said, not 3. But I was pretty impressed with that. Really well. So the other thing is, you remember with my mint that only one rooted, and the rest of them, they were sort of sitting around forever. All of the other ones rooted this week. So they're all now planted, and I just keep taking bits and putting it in my water or whatever. And I've sort of just keep adding water to it. It's doing just fine. It loves it where it is. So I'm happy. This is a half gallon. We call it 2 liter. But I just put some foil around it so it doesn't look quite so bad. Oh, sorry. Yeah, this is a gallon jug. This is a gallon jug that I cut down the middle. And the reason is, Jody, just so you can see, that is sort of taking in water, but not too much. All right. They work really well. I've got all my geraniums that I brought from the other house in half-gallon jugs or gallon jugs. So that's that. Now then, my huge success of the week is that you remember I put I don't know if I even told you, I might have done it since then, but I decided to try what happens if I put the end of an onion, the bit that's got the obvious roots on it. And this is in less than a week. Can you see the roots, how big they are? Can you see it here? And here? And here? And already it is starting to get greenery right here. And this is in less than a week. So I've actually got a root. Can you see that root there? Yeah, amazing. So that was my success. All right, for those of you who don't know what I'm up to, I'm literally taking vegetables that I bought in the store and making new vegetables out of them. These are some of the carrots that I had this week. Just cut the top off them and float them in water. All right, that's all that they're doing. Wanted to make sure you could see that. The onion was the bit that you cut off anyway. All right, so normally you'd throw it away. Jody, the bok choy continues to do well. This cute little bok choy. I'm very happy with it. It's looking very healthy. This is a new experiment as well. I'm growing lemon and grapefruit. I haven't done orange yet because I haven't had an orange yet, but I will be having an orange tonight. So I will obviously. Now, the thing about if you're going to do this, I thought I'd show you what I'm doing. So I literally took some paper towel, okay, just like that. And then I put the seeds on here, folded it up like this. And now I'm going to wait for them to sprout. So they're in a closed container, making it like a little mini greenhouse until they sprout. Now, I do need to tell you, I learned this week. If you're going to take the seeds from a grapefruit or a lemon or an orange, not sure about an orange, but you need to get the outer shell off. That in itself is a little challenging. And I keep thinking nature doesn't do that. Nature doesn't sit there. So maybe you don't have to, it just helps it. So that's a good one. This one, Jody, was much higher last week, you remember? And it's looking very different this week. Thought I'd let you know the reason it's looking very different is because I've eaten those leaves. All right, I've eaten the leaves from up here down to here. I just put a couple in with my salad every day. And isn't it looking great? All right, and I've got new leaves growing up here, so I'm quite happy with that. In case anybody's wondering, this is my butter lettuce that I had about half of it, and then I decided to just put it in a wine glass and see how it does. I change the water, by the way, of all these things probably every day, if not every other day. But I don't know if you can see it, Jody, but there's a whole clump here. I'm a bit scared about the water in my computer. Yes, you can see it. See this whole clump here? This is all new growth. So if you've got a wine glass at home, get Lionel to pick up a living butter lettuce. You know, it's normally in a square pack, and just drop it in a wine glass. You know, after you've got about halfway through, take about half the leaves off, and then it's taken a while to grow, so you probably need about 4 of them. You know, so you can eat them in rotation. Now, this is a bit of my hydroponics, you know, cell style. What I did here, and by the way, doesn't this look healthy? Right, this is also a type of lettuce, not sure what one. I'm certain people will be able to tell me. Green leaf lettuce. So here's what I did with these. You know these drink things you can pick up at the dollar store? I just put a couple of holes in the bottom, people. Punched a couple of holes in the bottom, and then this was the bottom of the lettuce. Yeah, instead of throwing it away, I stuck it in Sal's hydroponic system. And don't mention the orange tree, Isabel. No. But I am growing new citrus, especially in memory. And I thought I'd show you how well the carrots are doing. They are really doing very, very well. Now, I've got them in toilet paper holders, toilet roll holders, because they're doing so well. So, again, just so you understand, I float them like this until the roots start to grow. Once I know they've got roots definitely growing, and good ones, then it's called, okay, you're ready for stage 2. Stage 2 is I fill up half the toilet roll with potting soil, and then I just stick it on top. And the toilet roll will pick up the moisture, and now the roots will go down into, oh, look at that, look at that, look at that. Don't know if you can see it. Can you see this root right here? It's come through the toilet roll. I wonder if you can see that. Huh. But there is a root right here. You might not be able to see it. Gotta get the right angle. But it's actually come through the toilet roll already, which is what I'm looking for. So that once I've got a lot of roots coming through, then I will stick it into a bigger pot until I'm ready to plant these. And just because I wanted to let you know, this is parsley from my garden that is doing just beautifully. So I bought some in, and I just keep it in water for two reasons. Hi, Becca. Becca, while you're here, I just want to say how sorry I am to hear about Dan. I know that's really sad. And by the way, I'm glad that you've popped in. Hopefully we can give you a reason not to be sad in a minute. So this, I've just taken fresh parsley and dropped it into the water. Number one, it keeps it fresh, but also I like using the water when I'm cooking. I can use this water, and it's like parsley water, and it gives it a little bit of flavor. So, but definitely, Jody, I thought, and I'm glad that I was right, this is the thing that really amazed me. So, reason to smile, people. New life. That's wonderful. Becca's saying, I've been enjoying recalling so many great memories, and that has kept me smiling on and off. I want to tell you, if you can do that already, Becca, then you are doing really well. Give yourself time. You know the process. You've been through it before. It is heart-wrenching and very difficult, but you do get to the other side eventually. And in a way, if I said, I'm glad you have the experience, I didn't ever want you to have that experience, but, at least you know the process now, and it's going to take a while, and it'll keep coming back in waves. It's a process that now. So I just want to say that I'm glad that you popped in. Well, it's a pleasure, honey. I'm glad. No, it's not a pleasure. What am I talking about? BS. That is absolute BS. I just want to send you a hug. All right, so for those of you who are watching, you're going to hear me talk a lot about Jody. Jody is our admin, and she looks after me, and she put these fun quotes together this evening, so make sure you thank her if you enjoy them. Hang on, let me see where we go. She starts off with a quote that says, "Gratitude is the fairest blossom which springs from the soul." Gratitude is the fairest blossom which springs from the soul. I think it is wonderful when we can, whatever's going on around us, still find it in our hearts to be grateful. That takes great self-control, but also it takes great courage. And one of the things, if you listen to the broadcast that we did at lunchtime today, which is already up on YouTube, we were talking about, some of the things that happen when you've had a loss. As you will know, Jody and Lionel had a loss last week with the loss of Lionel's daddy. And so one of the things that we talked about is, what to expect and what to do and not to do when you've gone through a loss. This is a wonderful day. I've never seen it before. Hi, Nyasha, good to see you. This is a wonderful day. I've never seen it before. I hope you all got up this evening and gave thanks for being alive, because I really do think that we need to be grateful to even wake up today. I was just watching, while I was getting things ready, I was just watching a little bit on TV where, there was this one woman, and she's lost basically most of her family through, this virus. And yet she still looks to be incredibly well. And that is amazing. Hi, Beth. Good to see you, honey. So, and it's just like, I think a lot of it is a mentality. And as we go through the coming weeks, here's another one. How about each day is a gift, not a given right? All right. I am grateful for every day I wake up. I'm not joking. I literally wake up and I go, oh, goody, I woke up. That's a great start to my day. And it makes me smile to be able to do that. How many others of you do that? You've learned to just smile and go, thank you, I'm awake. It's a really good start. And, if we can do that every day of our lives, did any of you do anything that made you happy this week? I obviously am having great fun learning how to grow seeds ahead of time. And I actually got myself a gift this week. Because, I can. Hang on, I got to bend down. It's not so easy for me. But I got myself some new slippers this week. That made me smile. And they're very snug. And one of the reasons that I needed them is because until you live in a manufactured home, you don't realize that the floors are really quite cold. And it's just like, I'm so used to walking around in bare feet in my home. But, here you can't do that. They are extra comfy, I must admit. I'm very happy with them. And so, it's just like, they're nice. So let's hear, did anybody give themselves a treat this week? Did anyone do anything for themselves this week that was a bit indulgent in it in some way? Okay, so Jody's saying, I spent time with Lionel, listened to him happily, recall happy memories with his daddy. Okay, with his father. It was precious time together. Yeah, exactly. I am amazed. I think Nana wrote to me and asked, what are you doing? Or something, while I'm in quarantine. And I'm going, what aren't I doing? I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm busier now than I was 2 weeks ago. I am making sure that I am busier now. Then, I get up and I have a routine. And I really want to tell you, it is a routine that takes me a full 12 hours. So by the time it gets to the nighttime, I'm going, my gosh, is it that time already? I still haven't finished my routine. So I am really busy. All right, so Becca's saying, who else in here can't stay home due to their job type? Beth is still working because of her job type. I know that. Hi, Sharon. Good to see you. Jody's saying Sal's busy every day. I am actually incredibly busy. I keep myself busy. Right. Beth is saying that both her jobs are still going. So now, this is an important thing to know, that Beth managed to pick jobs that make her indispensable, which I think is very interesting. Yeah, you and Beth work for the same company. I know that. So, but Beth also has a second job that she's still doing. Nyasha, don't be sorry that your job is closed for 15 days. Give thanks and use the 15 days well. I really have to say, any of you whose job has closed down for 2 weeks, that it's just for 2 weeks is wonderful. Some people's jobs will close down forever. I'm scared that Dougie's job may close down forever, but I'm hoping I'm not right. Yes, it's interesting. Becca's saying it's weird being essential because we get an extra $1 an hour through this period. I noticed that, and I'm going danger pay. I'm not sure that $1 an hour was enough, but they obviously thought they could get away with it. Here we go. How about this one? Oprah said this. She said, Be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough. um, and don't look at the next door neighbors and try and do better. You know what I mean? I no longer am into that game. You know, to me, I just do things that make me happy. You know, I'm not trying to have the best garden in the world. I'm trying to learn a new skill. You know, so hence this. But you know, really, who would have thought you could regrow bok choy just from the bit that you normally throw down the garbage? You know, and it's just like I am learning a lot, and I'm very, very happy with it. And so I am very thankful for what I have. I'm also, for those of you who didn't see it, in the lunchtime broadcast, we did the whole front end of the lunchtime broadcast, and we talked about what you're going to need so that you are prepared, not scared. All right. And what you need in your pantry, what you need. We did 3 areas that you might be interested in. So Anish is saying, today our government passed new laws which calls it non-essential. Yep. I've already thought about utilizing the extra off days to the best of my ability. Good. So, you know, you might also want to try growing vegetables. Look at this. This was the bottom of an onion. And already it has got, in less than a week, it's got huge roots growing. And so I can't plant it in the garden yet. It's still too cold, but I'm going to plant it into a gallon jug of milk, empty gallon jug in a minute now. And let it just grow nice roots so that by the time it's warm enough, which is probably about a month away, I would think. Where are we? End of March? Yeah, about the end of April, I think I will be able to do that. But, and the other thing is this, try growing living lettuces. Do whatever you can, learn a new skill. So be grateful. How many of you are really grateful for the internet? You're going, wow, what would I have done? I am really grateful I got a new TV and Roku, because I am definitely enjoying that. Yeah, Becca's saying it's so nice to come home to meows and rubs at the door after a long day. She obviously has a kitty cat. So for those of you who've got puppies, I saw that Marnie put an incredible picture of her puppy on her feed, and it's like she's working from home, and you can see the puppies going, "Can we go play now, Mummy?" Yeah, Jody's saying, I'm grateful for the internet and Amazon Prime, right? I've got that too. Wow, Sharon said she's got sunflowers, snow peas, and green beans growing. I've got beans growing, but I'm not sure which ones. Just beans. I don't know which ones. I think they might be bush beans, not runner beans. What sort of beans have you got, Sharon? All right, Beth is saying today at work, it was strange. People were actually thanking me for being there to supply them with essentials. Last week was hangry, hateful people. Yes, I think it is, beans. Yeah, thank you, Becca, for remembering him. I appreciate that. Oh, that touched my soul. Yeah, I think, on the whole, you've had what I call the nasty people. Now it's time. People don't do well, Beth, right? People don't handle change well at all. And that's why they get angry, because their life has changed as they know it. Snow peas are bush beans. Really? Green beans have runners. Right. I'm learning stuff. So I thank everybody. I was on the phone today getting a problem fixed, and I just said thank you for being there to help me. I'm certain that a lot of people, don't bother to thank them. I'm thanking anybody that's working and helping me. I'm thanking them. Yeah, Becca's saying so much frantic craziness because of no toilet paper. You know something? Um, Toilet paper is the least of my worries. I've got probably enough to keep me going, but really, toilet paper, seriously. If you run out of toilet paper, just literally take some old t-shirts, cut them up into bigger than toilet paper size. The reason for that is so you don't throw them down the toilet. Use them and throw them in have a bowl with soapy water in it. Just throw it in the bowl. You used to do this, people. This is not the end of your world, and it's not gross. I'm only using my toilet paper, for the bad stuff. Yeah, old socks, another great idea. I'm even getting to, if I need to, I use old face cloths. Buy some face cloths. Use them just for that. Yep. So we thank all of you who are on the front lines and helping us. The difficulty, of course, that some of us have got, Becca and Beth knows this as well, is I'm not allowed out, basically. I have to go out on Monday to go to the bank because I want to get some cash in the house. It's important to me. So that I do need to go, and so I'm a little bit concerned about that, but I've decided to make it a good day, a smile day, because what I said to Yvonne was, I'm going to be in your neck of the woods. So how about I make some mac and cheese and bring it over for you? Because that's what we used to do. So on Monday, I'm going to drop off some mac and cheese, and I'll give her, long distance hugs from 6 feet away. Niash is saying, but Mama Sal, how can someone stay calm when everything is changing around them? I've been calm for a while now, but now I'm starting to feel overwhelmed. On Sunday from midnight. You know something? If you don't think about it, you won't overwhelm. I have made my day so busy and learning things and doing things and so forth. I don't think about it. Beth is saying that their banks are closed except for drive-through. Ours are on a funny system where you have to stay in your car and they will come to you, find out what you need, and come back to you at the car. I think that's how they're doing it. So I'm not sure. I'll let you know on Monday when I find out. All right, so nobody's allowed on the streets until the 15th of April. So this is called, it's a wonderful test of your ability to entertain yourself. Now, I can't imagine, if somebody had said to you, I'm going to give you a 2-week vacation without you having to work for it, most people would be happy. I can't understand. Yeah, and there's drive-through testing for some people, for virus testing. I'm not quite sure if we've got that. We actually have a great thing that started this week, and I really would like you guys to find out if you've got the same. Canada started a new service for anybody who's, like myself, a senior and should not be shopping in a store. They've now got what they call the 211 line. And that means that I can phone 211 if I can't. For example, it's beginning to get difficult to book a time to get the groceries. So with 211, I can call that and they will match me up with a volunteer in my area who will happily go and shop for me. Isn't that wonderful? And that's what they're doing. So for those of you, think about that. If you're looking for something to do, some people can do that still. All right, so Beth is saying when she goes to the bank to get change, she has to call first, and then they do the transaction outside the front doors. Yes, that's what I'm going to be doing. Yeah, Becca, that's what I said. I'm glad I live in Canada, right? They think about things like this and they do it quickly. So That, so those of you who are worried about me, don't be. I'm in Canada. How about this one? Be grateful every day for the brief but magnificent opportunity that life provides. Imagine doing this without the internet. Imagine doing this, without being able to watch Netflix or without being able. By the way, Gone with the Wind has now made it to Netflix. And therefore, and I want to say that because I know some younger people have never seen Gone with the Wind. And it is a classic movie that everybody needs to see. There are certain movies that will withstand the test of time, and Gone with the Wind has every emotion you ever thought of in it. It is an amazing movie. It's got just so many different things in it. But it'll really, yeah, it's so good. Thank you, Becca, for somebody of your age to say that as well. But it really is so good. I intend to rewatch it one of these days when I get time. All right, so Becca's saying she hasn't seen it since she was little. Exactly. So good time to look at it again in today's reality. The reason is, Becca, is because it's a wonderful story about how to adapt to change. All right. Her life starts out, at a very high level. And then, because of the war, it goes right down. And then, so, to me, it's, and then how to build back up again. So to me, anybody who wants to learn about survival, and that's one of the things we were talking about at lunchtime today, is be aware that the chances are that following this pandemic, we will have a problem with inflation. And I explained exactly what inflation is and why it's likely to happen. And also, that's why I was saying be prepared, don't be scared, all right? So be prepared for what will happen with inflation, because I'm pretty sure it's going to follow. How about this one? Be grateful for every second of every day that you get to spend with the people you love. Life is so precious. Now, Becca, you would agree with that, right? Because you've just, had a friend pass and you thought you had the rest of your life and you didn't. All right, so this is interesting. Becca's saying, I'm more concerned about the aftermath about a pandemic than during it. Yes, good, Becca, that you can see that that's going to be the scary bit. That's why we did the broadcast at lunchtime, all about what inflation will do. Becca's saying eggs already inflated a dollar from 150 to 255. Here. Sharon saying about Gone with the Wind, my all-time favorite movie. Watched that movie more times than I can count. I've read the book several times, and the book was about yay thick, if I remember correctly, Sharon. Right? It was not an easy read. It was a lot of reading. Yeah, I must admit I've seen it, I would think at least 6 times, maybe more. It's one of those ones that's why it's a classic, right? Because you can keep watching it and you keep seeing new things in it. It's wonderful. Yes and no. Nash is asking, is inflation the same as price gouging? In a way. And what I would do, Nash, is ask you to see the beginning part of the lunchtime movie and it explains it. Lunchtime video, and it will explain it. No, it won't be on Amazon Prime. It's because it's on Netflix. So just normally they don't have the same movies on at the same time. That's my feeling. How about this one? How many of you really can feel this one? Be thankful for those who are dear and closest to you. Be grateful for what you have and let them know you love them today and every day. and Becca's asked me how Benji and the girls. Well, I was just going to talk about the girls. One of the things that the girls got to do this week was they got to get Facebook for Kids, and there is such a thing, where they can now talk to their friends and FaceTime. Unfortunately for me, they love me. And so I'm fast asleep, and suddenly, hi, Nana, I'm fast asleep, and suddenly my phone is going. And I'm going, who the is phoning me at that time of the morning? So I look at it and I go, it's Mia. What is Mia doing phoning me? And then I realized what had happened. So then I had a little chat with Mommy, and I said, Mommy, perhaps we could make sure that the girls do not call me in the morning, because I don't do mornings, and only call me in the afternoon. And, the funny thing is, Becca, Judy's doing fine. Judy +1 is doing absolutely fine. I spoke to her about that. And Benji and I are now exchanging, videos or chats about the garden. Benji's very excited that I'm gardening vegetables. He's overjoyed, and that I'm getting ahead of the game. He's very impressed. I didn't think I could impress him with that. How old is Juliana now? She was born in 2012. I know that because she was born a month after I gave up. A month after I started DearMamaSal. So that was in 2012. So pretty important. Yep. That means I gave up smoking 8 years ago, nearly. In October. She was born in October. She'll be 8 in October, I think. So I'm pretty impressed with that. Yeah, it's amazing how quickly that time has flown, right? So let us be grateful to the people who make us happy. They are the charming gardeners who make our souls blossom. So how many of you can really feel that you are really thank you very much, Sharon. I appreciate that. But as you know, I spent a lifetime trying to learn how to give up cigarettes, but you know how much that has helped me in terms of learning to adjust to being pre-diabetic. And now, as you can probably see, I am starting to lose enough weight that I'm getting some shape back. And so I think I'm about this far away. My goal was to get out of being obese, right? I just want to be overweight is what I said. And I think about 1.2 pounds away from being out of obese. That would be awesome. And then I will work at getting down to my correct weight. Becca's saying, Sal, since you've known me for so long, do you take the quiz I made for my friends on Facebook to see how well they know me? It's been posted on my page. I don't do those sort of things, quite honestly, Becca. I just want to tell you, I don't do it because I find it, you're going to end up either disappointing somebody or whatever. So to me, it's like, if you want to know how well I know you, you already know how well I know you, right? You don't need me to do a quiz to do that. Do you know what I mean? And I don't need to get bonus points for knowing, something weird about you. So it's just my personal thing. I don't do it. First of all, I find anything where you're LinkedIn like that is inclined to be the things they go after for when they are hijacking. By the way, part of our broadcast today, just so you all know, part of the broadcast today was about be prepared to see scammers and how Kimmy got scammed. All right? Becca, I hope the one thing I want you to know about me, I hope the one thing I want you to know about me is that I will be here. As long as I'm breathing air, I will be here. All right? And that to me is the most important thing that I want people to know. I will be here because you may need me. And I'm amazed how many people have gone missing. I was, talking to Manon recently offline, and she and I obviously keep in touch the whole time. She's very dear to my heart, and it's like I really am so grateful for all of you. You've changed my life immeasurably in all the different ways. How about this one? I'm grateful to wake up and know I have another chance. All right? Jody taught me this one. And it's funny because one of the things I had to learn over the last year is how to adjust my eating because I'm pre-diabetic. And every now and then I'll have what I don't know what happens to me. And some of you may relate to this, but every now and then I really want sugar. I mean, I don't know what happens in my brain. I guess all my sugar deprived bits get together and say, let's have a little strike now. We won't do anything until she gives us sugar. But every now and then I will do that. And I feel terrible because I know that it's going to spike. And I remember Jody telling me right at the beginning, you will have days like that and don't feel badly about it because it just is. You need to have days where you can be normal. By the way, Becca, I think you said something about my hair. Thank you. I meant to thank you earlier, but I clean forgot. So, just remember that there isn't anything about perfection here. This is like I have learned to cope with having less sugar, but every now and then I actually have it. And funny enough, last night I had a moment where I really wanted crepes. And I have a crepe maker. So I literally made 3 crepes with stevia and lemon. They were so nice. I thoroughly enjoyed them. And my blood sugar was perfectly under control this morning. Hey, Jody. So, it's about learning to balance. Very, very important. I'm amazed how many people are struggling to be at home full time. If you may say something, Nana, what does that mean? You want to say something? Is that what it means? Sorry. And thanks for the congratulations, Nana. I appreciate it. But it really, I think anybody that's making a change knows that it takes time and you have to give yourself wiggle room for the occasional oops. However, I do want to say for all of you who know that I gave up smoking, I can say without fear of any retribution whatsoever, cross my heart, and I don't want to die, but I want to tell you that I have not so much as had a puff since the day I gave up smoking, because I know one puff would have me smoking again. Right, so Nana's saying, remember, yes, Nana's saying my neighbor who insisted on going to the States has self-isolated for 2 weeks. He has redeemed himself in your eyes, all right? But, we were told to self-isolate, so maybe it wasn't his choice. But I'm glad that he has done that. My sister is going insane because people aren't obeying the self-quarantine. And I said, that's human nature, right? Young people, don't know how to be on their own. So, it is very, very difficult. How about this? Have a wonderful life. Create more. Buy less. Hug more. Scold less. Give more. Take less. forgive more, worry less, and be grateful for every day of your life. Right? So like, be grateful for every day of your life. Yeah, and you know, Nana, that whole thing about you had a candy bar or whatever, fudge oatmeal bar. What's wrong with that? So, you know, Nana, I saw your post, honey, but I have to finish what I'm presently talking about before I can start a new subject. So please bear with me. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me not presume this. Which one of your posts have I missed? Because I don't think I have missed anything. Can you let me know which one I missed, please? All right, so here, let's go on. As we express gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. All right? So to me, this is a wonderful time for us to be more aware of who's important to our lives. All right? As I was saying, I think it was last weekend, and I will continue to say it. If you want to have coffee with somebody, make a plan to get on Facebook or FaceTime or whatever you use, Hangouts or whatever it is, and have coffee with them, you know, by a live video. You know, it is exactly the same, except you can't touch them. What you're doing is you're still having coffee with them and you're still chit chatting as normal. I do it with Benji all the time. As some of you know, I read bedtime stories to the children every Monday night. All right. So this is my way of being, I can't go down and visit them, but I can talk to them. And what's amazing is how close they get, how close they get to the computer while I'm reading them a story. Really, they are this close. Benji was taking pictures for me and he said, you know, I've never seen anything like it. They never get that close to the computer. It's like they want to actually get through the computer and talk to me. um, so it was the thing about your neighbor that, yeah. So Nana, I just, you know, this happens a lot, honey, where you think I haven't seen your comment, but what I'm trying to do is to finish my train of thought that I'm on before I go back and talk about things. I have to do that. Otherwise, I'd never get a story finished at all, even for you. So how about this one? I welcome today with open arms. I'm eternally grateful for the chance to be alive and function as the creator of my world. I let my past wash away in the ocean of time, and I welcome every new day of opportunity with heartfelt love. I got out and drove the car yesterday. I didn't get out of it. I just literally got in the car and I drove for 20 minutes. And, you know, I had the windows wound down a bit so I could get air into the car. And I just enjoyed the drive. And, you know, I'm doing things so that I am entertained. You're going to see it any minute now when I get down and start editing, but I've actually I've built a worm farm in my new garden. And it's so, I call it the five-star worm motel, actually. But you're going to see that. And I learned something new in doing that. I'm very sorry to hear that, Nana. Nana's saying her kids have not even called to see how they are. Yeah, that's sad. I'm just very grateful that, that, have you called to see how they are, Nana? I'm sure you have. Okay, you all know I love Melody Beattie. I've always loved her. She has written some really good books about codependency. Okay, what's Nyasha saying? Mama Sal, you're a great influence in their life for reading them stories every Monday night. They would remember this for the rest of their lives. That is so sweet of you. You know something? I don't think it's sweet of me. It's very, I love it. I really do. I really do love it. I spend most of Monday trying to find some good stories to read them. And then I practice reading it. So by the time I get to the kids, I've got the idea of what the story is. And also I use it as a teachable moment. I will actually, there'll be a word in it and I go, does anybody know what that word means? And they go, no. And so then I will teach them the word and what it means. And then what I do is the next time I read to them, I will pick up on that word that I used last week and see if they remember it. And it's amazing that they do. Really amazing. So here we go. Melody Beatty said, gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. I'll try that right from the beginning. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance. It turns chaos into order. It turns confusion into clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, and a house into a home, and a stranger into a friend. No, Nana, I don't think I asked why you wanted to say something. So you have not phoned to find out how they are? It sure is sad. I asked them. Yeah. Okay. So you asked them, but they haven't asked you. I think I've got that right now. All right. You know something, Nana? Unfortunately, it is sad. But it's also life. How many of you found out that I'm getting calls from people that I haven't heard of for a long time? Which means that I am quite surprised that I am on their list of people that they would want to make sure they talk to before, if anything were to happen to them. And I've been saying to them, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate this call. I really appreciate it. But on the other hand, there are going to be other people that I would expect would care that are not going to. It's life. I don't expect perfection. Therefore, I don't get disappointed. Give thanks for the blessings of every day, every day. Embrace gratitude, encourage others. It is impossible to be grateful and hateful at the same time. Isn't that nice? Jody, I like that. It is impossible to be grateful and hateful at the same time. And do you know who said that? Denzel Washington. I really like that. Huh. And again, no matter how good or bad you think life is, wake up each day and be thankful for life. Someone somewhere else is fighting to survive. All right? And in Becca's case, yeah, she's got a friend that isn't there anymore. Yeah, Becca's saying Denzel Washington is one of her favorite actors. He seems to really be a genuine sort of person. That is awesome. All right, so Nana is saying that she asked her children if they had enough, and she hasn't heard from them since. Well, presumably they have. Nana? But, it's sad. I understand that you probably feel sad that they don't care enough to write and let you know one way or the other, or that they haven't got the manners to do that. I can understand that. By the way, one of the things I did, because I am in a position to help now, was I told every one of my children that if they've lost their job and they need help for the rent or the mortgage, and they couldn't get it from the bank or whatever, that they need to let me know, because I think it's really important that we help one another. And that is one way that I can help the people I care about at the moment. And so that is what I will do. And probably, it was funny because I even spoke to Benji about it, and I said, "Got a feeling you don't need me to do that for you, honey." And we had quite a laugh about that. And he said, "No, but I know that you would care and you would do that." Yeah, Jody, well done, Jody. Jody is repeating something that we all know, that Nana did her part and she is only responsible for her behavior. I think the thing, Nana, that you are going to understand one day is that you keep expecting people to do things and they don't, and then you get hurt. The thing is to let go of the expectation. I'm pretty certain there is a Bible study about that, but I don't know what it is. So those of you who have faith, help me to understand. There must be a teaching about that, which is to give but don't expect anything back. Then it's a genuine love. Nana's saying, whenever I try to Skype with the kids, they make excuses. My husband, their father, is 71 with breathing problems. Yeah. Nana, you can't control them. Sad is not a big enough word. Devastated, I would think, probably would be a better one, right? But I'm sad for you because there's nothing you can do about it, right? Unless you want to be a nagging housewife. And if that's, I don't think that works, quite honestly. They'll just roll their eyes and go, "Oh, it's Nana." So, just let them go. Don't guilt them out. That's their stuff. You are only responsible for your side. And you know something? I didn't. Since when did Rick have breathing problems? I was not aware of that. I knew he had a heart problem. I hadn't heard about a breathing problem. So that's news to me. I was saying to Jody today, out of interest, both Jody and I use CPAP machines, and I'm saying, isn't that a ventilator of some sort? And I'm going, and she's saying, yeah, but da 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 da, and I'm going, hey, if I got sick, I'd be using that to help me breathe. I got another one covered now. How about this? The most beautiful way to start and end a day is with a grateful heart. Don't concentrate on what you haven't got, concentrate on what you have. Nana, I know that you are probably really upset with the children. Be happy that you have Rick. I'm sitting here on my own. There's nobody else in my house, but I'm not lonely and I am not feeling sad because I'm busy. I'm too busy doing other things to feel that. Yeah. So, you could say that I've got breathing problems too, Nana, because, I've had a history of bronchial problems, and also I suffer very badly, as you know, from allergies and stuff. But, I don't feel badly. Yeah, it's good to share your feelings, but you've got plenty of people you can share them with, not necessarily your stupid children. And forgive me for the judgment about your children. There are other people in your life, Nana. You make friends very easily. So don't ask your children to do what they can't do, right? Or choose not to do. That's their choice. Don't keep pounding them. Go talk to people who care about you. Because it's obvious the children don't. Apparently, Rick has had CPOD, congestive pulmonary something, and emphysema. I didn't know that, Nana. So, yeah. So he's compromised for 2 years. Okay, thank you for letting us know. I didn't know that. And so, yeah, I can imagine that makes you twice as scared, right? And you want the children to care about him because, maybe he won't survive this, right? That is a possibility then if he gets the virus. So, but it's going to be on them, Nana. You can't force them. Yeah, and I agree with Nyasha, who's saying, don't feel bad. One day they'll need you. Just pray for them and that they will realize what they are doing to you. No, I don't want them to feel guilt. They are doing what they choose to do, and that is to ignore their father. Horrible as that is, that's what they're doing, and that's their choice. So be it. One day they may regret it, but maybe not. Feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it. How about that? Feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it. Right? So find reasons to write to people and thank them for stuff every day. Pick, who shall I thank today? That would be a really good thing to do. Right? And just, go, okay, fine, let me go through my friend list, all right? Probably your Christmas list. I would go down your Christmas list and go down and every day pick one person and tell them something you're thankful for. Be thankful for each day because not everyone gets to see another one. Yeah. To speak gratitude is courteous and pleasant. To enact gratitude is generous and noble. But to live gratitude is to touch heaven. All right? I really have to tell you that I'm really touched. For example, Benji and I were chatting after I was reading the stories to the children on Monday. And one of the things he said, and you could feel that he really meant it, he said, Mom, he said, I'm so sorry not to be able to come visit you again and bring wine. I'm really so sorry for that. But I can't. And I said, yes. And he was busy trying to work out what he could say at the border, that it was, essential that he crossed. And I said, don't do that. Don't do that. If it becomes an emergency and you really have to do it, then you can use that. But don't do it if you don't have to. I believe that's karma stuff. So I said, I am absolutely fine, honey. And I know you love me. And he said, I want to come and help you build your garden. And I don't know about you, but I just thought that was so caring of him. But, I guess he's at home and he can't do as much as he normally does. And I guess he's, grateful for the moment. I know he is so grateful for the time that I'm, spending, reading the stories to the children. But, it's, as I said, it's my delight. And what I did is I texted the girls today and I thought, I need to do this on my terms. It's going to be a lot easier. So what I did is I texted to them on Facebook and I said, okay, send me pictures of your creativity. I want to see what you've been doing, what you've been drawing, what you've been doing. And I got them back. It was so cute. Yeah, Benji is a very kind human being. And I have to keep reminding him that I'm okay. And if I'm not okay, I'll let him know. And what his point was that, let him know because he might not be able to get up here, but he's got family that he can send to me if necessary. You go, isn't that just gorgeous, right? So Nana was saying that Rick is on a puffer, and a lot of us know about the puffer, right? And for those of you who don't, it's a machine about this big that's got a little bit that sticks out, and when you're having difficulty with your lungs, you just puff like this and you breathe in, and it helps open up your airwaves. I just want to make sure everybody knows what that's about. And Nana's and Jody's saying, Nana, I understand the fear. I have two puffers. Jody's immune system is wiped out from her arthritis injections. Common sense precautions go a long way. Yeah, and so actually, it would be a really good idea for me to see whether, even if I've got an old puffer, to see if I've got a puffer on hand, just in case. Good idea. So thank you for talking about it, Nana. Spend the day appreciating every little thing that comes your way. And you'll end the day feeling deeply grateful for your life. Sharon saying, Benji's thoughtfulness brings tears to my eyes. You know, I have found that the whole association is amazing. I'm in touch with Benji's dad every day. And why? Because he is trying to keep fit. He's trying to keep fit. And what what I'm doing is I'm reporting, what my steps are every day and everything else, and he's reporting his to me. And that way we are buddying up to help one another. And he was doing it because he wanted to do this marathon that he does, or half marathon, whatever it is. But, now it's going to get canceled. And I said, don't you dare quit, because I don't want to quit. So you're not allowed to quit now. And then he had a bad day, and he didn't do it. I said, hey, we're all going to have bad days. And again, if I had a bad day, you would just be forgiving me, I'm sure, and let's turn the page and move on. So to me, Sharon, it's not just Benji and Judy and the children, but it's also, I'm delighted to say, his daddy. And obviously, it's like, it was a magical moment. I am just so glad that I got to meet the family way back when. It must be nearly 20 years ago now. But anyway, so, and, I do see them as my family. And actually, Nana, that's an interesting discussion. Yeah, thanks. And again, in a second, if I forget it, Jody. Nana's saying that she's still taking meds for her arthritis. Now, that's an interesting point, because I am beginning to notice that arthritis is coming about. Just about every joint I've got is beginning to suffer. All right, so Becca's saying, okay, Sal, I'm wiped out. I'm calling it a night. Thanks for being here. It's appreciated more than you know. You know something, Becca? Just know, all right? You don't have to be here every week for us to care. Just know we're here. And that we'll always be here to support you if you need it. You just have to let us know. All right? And that's the important thing. So big hugs to you. Nana, that's really interesting. So does anybody else relate to this? I know I should be taking ibuprofen. That's what I call it, for my arthritis, so that I'm not in as much pain. But I've got this old tape running in my head that says, don't take those things now, because then when you really need it, they won't work properly. And I'm going, maybe now is the time that I can take them. So for those of you who've got arthritis, could you let me know? I've definitely got arthritis in this joint here. I've definitely got it. I'm pretty sure I've got it in my left hip. I'm pretty sure I've got it in my ankles, and that's why I'm having problems, especially with my left side. So, it's like, please tell me it's okay to take ibuprofen. If it is okay, don't tell me it is if it isn't. I'm going, how old do I have to be before it's okay for me to take them if I need them, right? Being happy is not all that difficult. It's about allowing yourself to appreciate the new opportunities that come with a new day and forgetting those opportunities missed in the previous day. And I have to remember that because I seem to go charging through the day and I get to the end of it and I'm going, I still haven't done this, that, and the other. I am so busy. And I guess I just don't understand why people are bored or whatever. It's just like, you know, do something, learn something, grow something. It's like, this is a magic opportunity for a lot of people that have 2 weeks off. Jodi's mother hen is saying, when you need, take it when you need it. You are cautious and I have no worries. Thank you, Dr. Jodi. I have to take them too, I think, Nana. Yeah. And what I'm realizing is I need to change my mentality because I think I need to take them before I do more joint damage. That's what I'm worried about. Yeah. And that's, I was meant to have a hip x-ray done, Nana, but I've chosen not to go because the risk to me is too great. In the blink of an eye, everything can change. So forgive often and love with all your heart. You may never know when you may not have that chance again. In the blink of an eye, everything can change. So forgive often and love with all your heart. You may never know when you may not have that chance again, which is, I'm pretty sure, what Nana's thinking about her children. Care now because who knows, Papa, whatever they call him, might not be around. So, but the truth is, they will find out the hard way. Pain ease from Costco. It takes about a month to kick in. Is that over the counter or is that, or I don't go to Costco, as you know, I don't allow myself to go in there, especially now. I wouldn't go near it. Some neighbors of mine went to Costco and I just shook my head and go, really? Breathe, Oprah again, breathe, let go. And remind yourself that everything that is this very moment is the only one you have for sure. Breathe, let go, and remind yourself that this very moment is the only one you have for sure. Let's not think badly of people. Let's think sadly of them. Nana is saying, but in all fairness, you've just moved into your new place. Yeah, I think I'd still be busy, Nana, if I hadn't. I'd be crafting, I'd be painting, I'd be spring cleaning, I'd be doing whatever I could to keep my mind off the horrors of what's going on. I've got to be quite honest with you. I would not be bored. I would not be sitting around feeling sorry for myself. I'd be doing everything I could. That's just who I am. Never regret a day in your life. Good days give you happiness. Bad days give you experience. And worse days give you lessons. And the best days give you memories. So I'd be phoning people if you're looking for something to do, or texting them or emailing them and going, you know what my favorite memory of you is? I thought I should share it with you in case I never get a chance to do it. And, write them something. You know what my favorite one is with Big Brother Jeff? For those of you who know my Big Brother Jeff. You've probably heard me tell this story, so if you have, just bear with me. I found it incredible that when I was still in Africa, I had reason to stay with him, and then he was going to drive his wife at the time and myself down from Johannesburg all the way to Cape Town. And that's a long drive. All right. But you know me, I went out partying the night before because I reckoned, if I got good and hammered, then I'd probably sleep most of the way to Cape Town. So now, bye-bye, Nana. So then what I did was, I came back, sort of 2:00 in the morning going, I was drunk as a skunk. Anyway, so I get to the front door and there is this poem written on the door. And I can't remember it all, but I can tell you how it started. It said, "A problem solver you must be if you wish to find the key. With your eyes so tired and bleary and your something so weary, you will have to clear your head if you wish to go to bed." And I'm going, no. And by the way, this piece of paper is long, it's stuck together. And I'm going, let me get to the bottom. Let me get to the bottom one because the answer's probably there. And then he knew I would do that. So guess what? He wrote a bottom one that said, I can't remember what it said, but basically said, if you've been smart enough to come here next, wrong paragraph. And I had to go back. And anyway, but I will, whenever I see Jeff, one of the things I talk to him about is a problem solver you must be if you wish to find the key. Jeff and I can actually talk in rhyme, and we do it sometimes. We just, like they have rap today, but Jeff and I have talked in rhyme for the longest time. It's amazing. We just have that ability to do that. I guess our minds are pretty active. Jody's saying it's a great story. Well, actually, Jody, it isn't a great story because I had to go pee in his garden because I couldn't wait that long. I really needed to get inside. I just remember that. Too much information, but it is part of the story. So, but Jeff laughs because I'm certain when he wrote it, he never for a moment thought that I would still be talking about it 60 years later. Talked in rhyme for the longest time. Yep. You like that? You picked it up, Jody. Very good. Well, I'm glad that, Sharon, that it made you smile, because that is our wish on a Friday night, that we do that. Make every day count. Appreciate every moment and take from it everything that you possibly can, for you may never be able to experience it again. I did something really strange this week, which was, even though I knew that Jody and Lionel were struggling with loss, I actually carried on as though it was a normal week and it hadn't happened. And I noticed that Jody wrote to me and said, let me know what we're going to be doing this weekend. And I did. You see, sometimes the kindest thing we can do to people is just go on and live life normally, because they need to get away from that grief and that sadness and everything else. And people need to smile. And that was one of the things I was saying at lunchtime today, that one of the things people don't understand is grieving people need permission to smile. Grieving people need permission to laugh again. Because for some peculiar reason, we are wired to think that that is not respectful, that we should not be laughing. And I can assure you that I am continuing to do everything I can to make sure that Jody laughs every day. All right, so Jody's saying, I needed some normalcy. Yeah, you know what that word is. She needed to be normal. It was so appreciated. Thank you, Sal. Well, you know something, Jody? That is what I thought. And I also, Jody, and this is for sure, I also trust you enough for you to come back and tell me if that isn't the case. All right? And, to me, that is what's important, right? I believe that you and I are on a good enough standing and friendship level, that if you're saying, hey, if you had written back to me and said, Sal, I'm just not up to it this week, I would have been absolutely fine. But that was your call, not mine. And Jodie's saying, I'm not usually associated with the word normal. But whatever. Sharon. Sharon is saying, if you needed normal, you've come to the wrong place. All right, Nyasha. Nyasha says that she's feeling sleepy. She's falling asleep while she's listening. Be blessed, everyone. Stay safe and take care. We will, certainly. Yeah, you see, Jodie, and that's the whole thing. I trust you to be adult enough to tell me that. And that's really important to me. By the way, Jodie, I hate to admit this, but you were right. This copper color, I really do love. And I didn't think that I would. So thank you. Each time I put it on, I go, yeah, she was right. It's a really great color. But I do like it with the contrast. What do you think, guys? All right, so it works for me. Makes me happy. Right, now then. Spread love. Hug people you care about. Even do it mentally. Do it by text or do it by email. Don't say, oh, I can't do that because I can't get near them. We can hug people without getting close to them. And make sure that they know you care about them and appreciate them. Make it known to your friends and family that you love them. Right? How many of you have made sure you've done that this week? Because that's what it's all about. I think. If you're not grateful for what you already have, why should you be blessed with any more? Right? And I really do want to pick up on that comment that Nana was making. If this group of people apparently doesn't care, that doesn't look right somehow. If this group of people doesn't seem to care whether you are okay or not, I would go find myself another group of people that do care. And, this is like, it's not about them, it's about us. All right? Feeling entitled to receive care and love from people just because you spawn them or whatever it is, I understand it, but, it doesn't work. I can remember my mom used to say that all the time. Well, he has to do that because I did it. And I went, Mom, nobody has to do anything. Really? Well, I am his mother, and therefore I said, yeah, but he doesn't have to do it. Just because you're a mother, that's entitlement. And, you're not really that entitled, apparently. So I found out in life. It was said that life is so transient and ephemeral. We will not be here after a breath. So think better, think deeply, think with kindness, and write it with love, so that it may live a little longer. I think we have these ungrateful people in our lives to help us remember what love is. Love is not that they give it back to us. Love is that we can give it out. How many of you agree with that? It is about what we do. Remember that it's about our behavior, not anybody else's. And so if you can be happy with your behavior, you will be a happy person. You can be sad that the other people don't respond. That's okay, but don't let that ruin your day. Please. Marigold Wellington, what a name, said, I live to enjoy life by the little things. feeling the grass between my toes, breathing fresh air, watching the wind sway the trees, enjoying the company of loved ones and deep conversation, getting lost in a good book, going for a walk in nature, watching my kids grow up, just feeling life itself. The absolute amazing fact that we are here right now, breathing, thinking, doing. You see, if you are breathing, thinking, and doing all day long, you won't have time to feel ungrateful. Right? It doesn't happen. Rachel Goodrich said, "Teach me to sing and recite, to whistle and jingle and strum. Teach me to color and paint, to sculpt and to weave and create. Teach me to sway and dance, to tap and leap and twirl. Teach me to laugh and giggle, to tickle and play and pretend. Teach me that life is beautiful." If we do all of those things, it will be. There is a limit to how much you can embrace a moment, but there is no limit on how much you can appreciate it. There's no limit. The more you appreciate the life you've got, regardless of what's going on, the more you appreciate the life that you've got. What was it Benji and I were talking about? We were in the middle of talking about something together, and I just went, "It's another first world problem, Benji." And I just love that expression. This is not a problem that they have in the third world. And it was, I can't remember, it had to do with mortgages or debt or whatever. And I'm going, if you are poor, you don't have those problems. And how about this grateful moments, blessed time? See, if you live your life in being grateful, you will also feel blessed and you will be happy. Mitch Albom said in the book Tuesdays with Maury, he said he nodded towards the window with the sunshine streaming in. You see that? You can go out there, outside, anytime. You can run up and down the block and go crazy. I can't do that. I can't go out. I can't run. I can't be out there without fear of getting sick. But you know what? I appreciate that window more than you do. I think about Erin when I read that. All right? At dawn of light, all darkness disappears. So true. Pauline Seaport said, "Death has no age limits. That is why we should appreciate each moment. In fact, each moment of life by getting to know God and doing all that we can to love others through works of faith." Yeah, Jody, let me go back a bit here. Tuesdays with Maury is the book by Mitch Albom, Albom. Yeah. My pleasure. Every moment in our lives brings the opportunity to love and appreciate this beautiful, magical life. How many of you have noticed that some people are just in this world and do everything they can to be happy within it? And some people are in this world And sometimes it just seems that they do everything they can to be miserable in it. You notice that? You know, if this is happening, yes, but, and then they'll bring up something else that they're miserable about. You know, the thing is, happiness is a choice. You need to work at it. You need to really work at it when times are tough. I don't think I have some sort of magic pill that makes me happy. I really know that I work at it. I work hard at it. Change is an unsuspecting and finicky foe. You don't realize the strength of its grip until it's too late. How many of you have noticed that change is not something you do well? And by the way, join the rest of the world. But you know, if you can go, I don't like it, but I can do it. You see, that's a I can mentality. Don't work on what you can't do anymore. Work on what you can still do. You know, you might not be able to go and hug. I saw somebody say that today. I think Charlotte said that she couldn't go and hug her mum on her birthday. But you know, she could still talk to her on Facebook or FaceTime, whatever she used. Jodie's saying, I do notice that. And I also notice how incredibly draining it is to be near somebody that sees the glass half empty all the time. Yeah, it is very draining. Very draining indeed. And you know, it's funny because if you do the work to be happy, it is difficult to take people who don't do the work to be happy. That don't, you know, I know so many people. I look at Chloe. For those of you who know Chloe, Chloe during the years that I have known her has lost half of her insides. If she so much as moves the wrong way, she completely dislocates her bones. You know, you and I can lean down with difficulty, but we can lean down and pick something up off the floor. If she does it, she ends up dislocating something. You know, I look at her life and she has every reason to be an incredibly bitter, nasty person. She has just been in hospital and so ill. And she fought to get out and get home because she wanted to be with her husband and her daughter. And she wrote today that she was busy packing up parcels to send to less fortunate people. And she was feeling badly because she was a bit tired. How many of you are going, no? And I'm going, really? By the way, she is one person I donated money to when I heard what she wanted to do. You see, she isn't thinking about dying. She's still thinking, what can I do? What can I do to help others? And she's making up little care parcels for people and distributing them. Amazing. So I sent some money to help her do it. She is not living a yes, but life. She is living a, hey, guess what life. Yeah. Chloe's saying, humble to hear that. Prayers for Chloe and the family. A person who can understand, appreciate, and sing along with the tree has a deeper perception of life. It's beautiful, isn't it? And with every breath you take, someone just took their last. Stop complaining about life. It has given you much more than that you appreciate. By the way, I heard Prince Charles tested positive. Amy Lee McCree said, my life is wondrous and I appreciate it every day. Do you think she's happy? The morning sunshine brings the message that life is so bright and beautiful that the darkness of light has no power to hide it. Right. So Jodie's saying Boris Johnson also tested positive. You know what I didn't do at lunchtime, Jodie, is I didn't tell Kimmy's story. Or did I? Yes, I think I did. Yes, I think. Okay. I was just worried that I hadn't told the story, but I did. Sammy Lee Davis. Don't lose it till you quit trying. Lessons in adversity and victory from the Vietnam veteran and a Medal of Honor recipient. He said this: 1 second, that's how quick life goes. This is a lesson I have never forgotten. No matter how good you think life is, it can be taken away in a heartbeat. It can all change, it can all be gone. So try to appreciate every moment. You know, if I took 24 hours of your day and heard about how many hours of that day are you complaining and how many hours of that day are you doing things and learning things and being prepared to fail at things, that will tell me what sort of a human you are. Do you think that I am concerned that maybe Judy is at risk, being pregnant at this time? And there's part of me going, thank goodness Washington got it badly and got it early, because with any luck, you see, that's how I think. With any luck, by the time baby T number 4 comes out, the worst of it will be over for them in Washington, which also means that I'll be able to go visit them. That was a phone. I'll be able to go visit them as well, presuming that the situation is like that. And Maria Buria said this: it takes just one flower. I don't need an entire garden. How many of you know that when I started to see the roots coming down from the bottom of my onion that I normally would have hacked, I was so excited and couldn't wait to show Jodie tonight. And, for some reason, I only noticed it this afternoon when I was getting things ready to show Jodie, because, she likes to see the garden stuff. I realized that she was going to be heartbroken that the radishes weren't there anymore. And I played to that, Jodie. I do apologize, but I did play to that because it was like, I'm sorry they aren't there anymore. And you probably thought they died, and I'm going, because they're here now, and look how healthy they are. Let's hope I can keep them that way. And so, I look at it all and go, I really am busy. Is anybody else? Am I the only one that's busy at the moment? By the way, one of the things that Jodie asked me to mention, and I did need to do that, is that, and I probably will do it a couple of times on each broadcast, is that remember Soul Sunday as a broadcast playlist. It's a really good thing to click onto. And Jodie, when I do the follow-ups for today on both the broadcasts today, what I will do is I'm going to actually promote that not only on DearMamaSal, but I'm going to promote it on my personal one. And what I was thinking, if you know anybody that might need it, maybe you'd care to share the links to it as well. Jodie's talking about the radish. It was my fault. She said I felt badly, though. I thought they were gonzo. Well, I did set you up for that, Jodie. I did set you up for that to be. Jodie, it truncates. That is not the full. That is not the full link. I'll put it up on Facebook and Twitter. Yeah, if you go to DearMamaSal go to videos. Under videos, I think it has playlists as well. Or just type in DearMamaSal Soul Sunday, and it will give you, take you straight there, I think. But Jody, you understand, I sort of set you up to believe that I had managed to kill them. And that was my bad, but, it was a bit of drama that I thought you would enjoy. But, what amazes me is if you remember, the first bit of mint took just days to grow roots. 3/4 of the mint took a month to grow roots. How many of you would have given up on this group because it didn't grow roots as fast as this one? You see, because I think this is all about life. I'm not throwing those things out. They could still grow roots. And I kept going, please, could you grow roots? Please, could you grow roots? Just on principle. Go on, grow roots. And then today, they grew roots. It was just like, look at that, they got roots. So I can plant them. Now, technically, I have no idea how this works, but I'm going to find out. Right? And Jody's saying she forgives me. It was entertainment. Yeah. I just have no idea, but there's part of me that goes, I'm thoroughly enjoying just the growing process of the carrots. Anybody know, can you eat the tops of carrots? I think you can, can't you? I know my horse did. And chard. Is chard sort of like kale, but different? Oh, Beth is saying sometimes the slow growing ones are the best ones, like people. We were talking to Linda, by the way, just an update. Linda was on the broadcast at lunchtime, and she was talking about learning how to make yeast. And also, I was saying to her, it'd be a really good thing for her to teach her autistic son, Nicholas, how to make bread. Because she wants to learn how to do it. And I said, why don't you teach Nicholas? Why don't the two of you learn together? Because he could, bread making, I think, would be something that somebody with autism could do. And it's very tactile, which normally people with autism do well with tactile things. So I was thinking, he can get rid of a lot of his frustration and stuff and get a lot of benefit from that. And he apparently got quite excited with the idea of it. So always think about what can people do, not what can't they do. Think about what can they do. Beth, you are a shining example. When I read what you do, as sick as you've been, I want to tell you something. I just roll my eyes and go, really. If ever, anybody deserves a superwoman cape, it has to be Beth. Okay, so Jody is telling me that yes, these are edible and loaded with nutrients. So good idea to put some into my salads. I cannot tell you, Jody, how much fun it's been all week to make a salad and then just take a couple of fresh, personally grown leaves and add it to them. Now, I did a really good experiment today. Okay, hang on a second, people. Okay. So, I'm growing tomatoes anyway, but I took a regular grape tomato that I got from the store. Doesn't that look healthy? And I just sliced it in thin slices, and what's inside? A bunch of seeds. And so what I'm doing is I'm trying to see, do these grow any better? Do they even germinate, right? They tell me it will, but do these grow any better than the seeds that you pay money for? So I'm going, why would I pay money for seeds if these work beautifully? Welcome back, Nana. Why would I pay money for seeds if I can use these seeds? Well, so good. Mm. So starting with citrus ones, be very interesting. I've never had a lemon tree or a lemon bush, and I would like to have one. Now, what I'm thinking about, I've actually I had cantaloupe, and I took the seeds out and I dried them, rolled them in paper towel, and I've also planted some of that. Second year seeds grow better. Okay, thank you. Grow way better. All right, so do not expect the same production from the seeds that I got out of a fresh one as one that came in a packet. Would that be true? Thank you, Nana. I appreciate the help. Grow your own seeds. Yeah, and that's what I'm doing. I've actually been planting my own seeds. I bought verbena from my previous house. I've planted that. I've started the seeds for that. I found, all those, it's amazing. Those geranium cuttings I took, again, they were not rooting. I got a couple of them to root, maybe four, but the rest of them just weren't shooting roots at all. And I kept thinking, I wonder if I should throw them out. And I'm going, be patient. And Jody probably will remember more than anybody because she was so interested in it. But Jody, I had 2 lots of packed of this, and these 4 are the only ones that haven't. Oh, I can see a tiny root on that one as well. But I will wait until they've got 5 or 6 roots growing. But these are the only ones that didn't. Oh, interesting. Mark sends the best tomato seeds. Great to know, right? I don't need no, but thank you. It's okay. I'm going to learn to do that, Nana. I appreciate the thought, but really, I've got tomato seeds coming out of my gazoos here. I just wanted to try the experiment to see, so it's good to know. Yeah, I've got 3 packets of store-bought ones and my own. But I thank you for the kindness. I really do appreciate that. So let us do a quick thing on the countdown before I forget and get into trouble. You don't want to get into trouble. So Valentine's Day is 10 months away and 23 days. Christmas is just 272 days. All right, Jody, could you make a note of that name, whatever that is? Osteopenes. And I'll see if I can get it online. I definitely can't go to Costco. All right, so for those of you mailing cards overseas, you've got 8 months and 8 days to get those envelopes done. US Thanksgiving is 8 months and 3 days away. Canadian Thanksgiving is just 6 months and 18 days away. Thanks, Jody. Summer is only 84 more days, unless, of course, you are in the Southern Hemisphere, in which case winter is only 84 days away. USA, you've got 3 months and 19 days to get your taxes in under the new system. And for Canadians, we've got 2 months and 49 days to get that done. Easter is just 2 weeks away. And I'm certain a lot of you will miss going to Easter services. But it's just for this year, hopefully. Very hopefully. And I was saying today that it's hard to believe it, but I moved 2.5 months ago. Doesn't it feel like yesterday? 2.5 months ago. And I have now owned my house for 1.5 months. And boy, do I give thanks every day that I sold my house when I did. Because I can imagine what would have happened to the value of it now. And, you know, that's what we've got to think about, is what's going to happen at the end of this. And that's going to be the scary thing. It'll be more scary in some ways than the pandemic itself, financially. So look after yourselves a lot, please. Eat well, be happy, do things. You know, I like to think of it as, if this is the last day of your life, what would you like to do? You know, forget all the things you have to do. What is it you would like to do today? All right, I have one day a week. It's Saturday. And on Saturdays, I do things that I want to do. I don't do things, I occasionally do something for DearMamaSal, but it's something that I really want to do. But, you know, if I want, how many of you, while you've been in lockdown, have not got out of your jammies, that you stayed in your jammies for a whole day? Anybody? Yeah, Jody's saying the timing about selling my house was incredible. Yeah, I'm very, very grateful every day, I can assure you. So, you know, I'm thinking, you know, have a have a pajama day, right? Anybody comes to the door going, no, this is pajama day. You know, well, nobody's coming to the door these days anyway, but anyway. So Jody's saying I don't nag her on Saturdays. You don't nag me anytime, Jody. Actually, no, that's not true. There are days when she does, you know, but it's because I asked her to. Yeah, so Saturday is my best day because I don't broadcast and I don't have to do anything on Saturdays. I don't book appointments for Saturdays, so I don't have to do anything on Saturdays. So I am likely to try and sleep in if the girls don't start waking me up at some ungodly hour. And I think I've got that under control now. They are so cute. You know, I just was overwhelmed with the amount of love that went into it. And then, what was it? I think Kira asked me, what sort of llama am I? I'm going, I don't know. Does anybody know what that means? I think it's an emoji, right? And I'm going, I think that somehow or other, maybe the emojis I've got, I don't have the llama ones. But, you know, it was like, she obviously thought I knew, which I don't. So I may have to talk to Mummy about that when I speak to them on Monday and check out what the truth is about the llama story. I'm pretty sure it's a set of emojis. I'm going to learn. So it's been a fun experience, I must say, really has. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I have lots of things. By the way, I did manage to get into my shed this week, my storage shed. And that is part of what I wanted to do, is to find out, you know, what happened was I had half of the boxes well packed, and the second half of the boxes in there were packed by Doug and James at the last minute, and they just hucked whatever they could find into boxes. They didn't sort of keep the woodworking stuff with the woodworking stuff or anything. They just filled boxes. And so I need to open up every box that is there to find out what is really in them, not what I think is in them. And some, you know, boxes were reused from the time when I moved 20 years ago, and they sort of have things written on the outside that actually is not what's in them at all. So it's a big job that needs to be done, but like everything else, one step at a time. And I'm going to just do it that way. I'm going to go in there once a week and take one section of boxes and open them up and find out what's in them, document it and put those boxes back, and then go, this is what is in this tier of boxes, and this is what's in the boxes behind them, so that I know if I'm looking for this, it's in this section. So that's what I'm going to do. It'll be a big job. I'm also going to take out probably about 30 boxes and wrap them in plastic, just so I can get them out of the shed. I will probably do the ones that are books, because I don't know whether they're ever going to go back in there again. But I'm going to get the boxes out wrapped in plastic so that they don't get damaged, and then put them aside somewhere where they're sort of basically under shelter, just so I can get some more room in the shed. You see, it's what can I do, not what can't I do, that I'm interested in now. And I cannot tell you how exciting it was to take one box from the craft room and realize I had now gone down that whole tower from, from being over eye height, and I'd got all the way down to the floor on one tower. Most of it is about knee high now, but I actually dropped one tower all the way to the floor. And it's just by doing a little bit every day. It is wonderful. So again, my thanks to Jody for putting the quotes together. You did a great job, Jody. Thank you. I really, really appreciate it. And you know what I have to tell you is Jody and I work incredibly well as a team. And it is just like we sort of know what we need to do. And I know Jody will be doing this while I'm busy trying to do the other side of it. And it just seems to work really, really well. But big round of applause to Jody. And thank you. She has every excuse not to be helping me this week. Every excuse not to be helping. But you know, Jody knows that by keeping herself doing stuff will help her grieve better. All right? To stay normal will help her. You know, Isabel, it is an absolute pleasure. Thank you for being here. How are you doing, Isabel? If I may ask, and if you need to write to me privately to update me, go right ahead. But I really would like to know how you're doing. You've been quiet, not like you. So I will see you all again on Sunday, hopefully, or those that can make it, and I will look forward to it. I want to tell you that looking after yourself and your mental health right now is really so important. And you will know whether you have control or your mind does by how happy you can be. So Jody's saying, thank you for all the time and support you offer to us all, Sal. It's my pleasure, Jody, you know that. Sandy's saying, keep well, everyone. See you on Sunday. You bet you will. And Isabel is saying, I am fine. I lost my job, but we will have help. So it's less stressful. That's good to hear. Really, Isabel, I'm so pleased. Let us know how we can support you, please. You know how to contact us. And so everybody, thank you. Thank you for helping yourselves. Thank you for staying honest. But most of all, please remember that there are other people in your life that maybe could be helped. And it might be by listening to some Soul Sunday broadcasts, or maybe you can get them to join in so they can hear some of what we do. It's up to you. If you think that I can help, maybe brighten the day for somebody else, make sure you share the information about when we broadcast. Jody, keep up the great work and keep being honest, because that makes it easy for me to know that I can rely on you to let me know if you're not up to doing this. And we, you know. All right, Nana, good night. We're also going, and I'm sorry you had to reboot, but I know that problem. This is Dear Mama Sal. Thanks, Sharon, for being here, saying, look after yourselves, but also, as usual, you know, look after everybody else that you can. But most of all, look after yourselves. Sandy's going to try that tonight with the playlist. Sandy, let us know how it works for you. I've had people tell me it works wonders. So let me know. There's something about my voice droning on that works really well. So big hugs, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing the best you can, because that's all I can ask of you. And we will get through this one step at a time. Oh, Isabel says it does. So goodbye for now, honey. See you Sunday. Bye.